Today, we're diving into a question I get asked all the time: Saugus or Valencia? If you're thinking about making a move to the Santa Clarita Valley, then this is the video for you. We're going to break down the real estate market in both Saugus and Valencia from the eyes of someone looking to buy a home, specifically looking at what went down last month. That's March 2025. So are you currently on the hunt for a new place in Saugus or Valencia? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to see where everyone's looking. Both Saugus and Valencia are fantastic communities, part of the greater Santa Clarita area. They each have their own vibe and appeal, and when you're making a big decision like buying a house, you want to make sure you pick the right fit. We'll be looking at everything from how much homes are selling for to how quickly they're flying off the market. We'll even get into the nitty-gritty like price per square foot and how much negotiating power you might have. What's the overall feel of the market in Saugus and Valencia right now? Are buyers in the driver's seat, or are sellers calling the shots? According to reports, both Saugus and the broader Santa Clarita area, which includes Valencia, are considered sellers markets. This indicates that the demand for homes generally outweighs the available supply, which can influence pricing and the speed at which properties are sold. Information suggests that Saugus has maintained its status as a seller's market since the previous year, indicating a consistent level of buyer interest. This environment typically results in prices that tend to be somewhat elevated, and homes might be sold more rapidly than in a buyer's market. Similarly, Valencia has also experienced a sustained seller's market over the past year. However, an interesting detail emerges. Data indicates that a significant 50% of homes in Valencia were sold below their asking price last month. This is a point we'll revisit when discussing negotiating power. Furthermore, statistics show that in Saugus, a substantial 42.9% of homes were sold close to their original listing price in the past month. This further emphasizes the seller's advantage in the Saugus market. So while the overall market leans towards sellers in both locations, the information about Valencia suggests that buyers might encounter more opportunities for securing a deal below the initial asking price. All right, let's talk about the big one: how much homes are actually selling for. The median sold price for homes in Saugus during March 2025 was approximately $794,000. Additional data from February 2025 indicates a sales price of $800,000, showing a degree of consistency in pricing. Now, when we look at Valencia, the median sold price in March 2025 was around $809,400. This indicates that on average, homes in Valencia were selling for a slightly higher price compared to Saugus. To put this into perspective, the median sold price in Valencia was roughly $15,400 greater than that in Saugus. While this might not appear to be a substantial difference for some, it's certainly a factor to consider when evaluating your budget. Information regarding median listing prices also aligns with this trend, with Valencia often exhibiting slightly higher list prices as well, around $844,500 compared to $850,000 in Saugus. However, it's worth noting that median sold prices in Valencia can fluctuate, with one report indicating a higher figure of $895,000 for February 2025. It's also important to understand how prices are trending over time. Information indicates that the median price per square foot in Saugus was approximately $467 in March 2025. Data from February 2025 suggests a slightly lower figure of $435. Turning our attention to Valencia, the median price per square foot was around $496 in March 2025. A report from February 2025 shows a price per square foot of $477. Again, suggesting a generally higher cost per square foot in Valencia compared to Saugus. This means that for every square foot of living space, you're generally going to pay a little bit more in Valencia, roughly $29 more per square foot based on the March 2025 data. Over the total area of the house, this difference can become quite significant. This price difference could be attributed to various factors, such as the age and condition of the homes, the types of amenities available within each community, or simply the overall desirability of the location. We'll delve into some of these lifestyle factors a little bit later. Also, it's worth noting that one source reported a price per square foot of $435 in Saugus for February 2025, which is lower than the March figure, indicating that there could be some short-term variations in the market. Based on this, it appears that you're paying a premium for square footage in Valencia. This might suggest that homes in Valencia are on average newer, feature more upgrades, or are situated in more sought-after neighborhoods within the city. Now, let's talk about your options. How many homes are actually available to buy in Saugus and Valencia right now? According to market data, Saugus had 87 homes listed for sale in March 2025. This represents a slight decrease from the 88 homes listed in February of 2025. Another report indicates 90 homes were sold in Saugus during February 2025, which might provide some context regarding recent market activity. When we look at Valencia, the number of homes for sale in March 2025 was 199. This is a notable increase from the 168 homes listed in February 2025. This data clearly shows that Valencia had a significantly larger number of homes available for purchase compared to Saugus last month. It's not just about the current listings, though. It's also important to consider how many homes have been sold recently. In Saugus, 21 homes were sold in March 2025, an increase from the 20 homes sold in February. In Valencia, 38 homes were sold during March 2025, a substantial rise from the 22 homes sold in February. Again, Valencia demonstrates a higher volume of closed sales compared to Saugus. Generally, a greater number of homes available for sale can be beneficial to buyers. It means there are more options to choose from, and the competition for individual properties might be less intense. This could potentially give you more time to make a decision and perhaps even enhance your negotiating position. The increase in Valencia's housing inventory from February to March could be a favorable development for prospective buyers in that area. Are you looking for a single-family home, a townhome, or a condo? The type of property you're interested in can also influence the inventory levels you'll encounter in each city. Let's look at the average days on market. Information reveals that the average listing age for homes sold in Saugus was 24 days in March 2025. This suggests that homes in Saugus are typically being sold relatively quickly. Data from February 2025 indicates an average of 48 days on the market, suggesting a possible decrease in the time homes spent on the market in March. In Valencia, the average sale time was 39 days in March 2025. This is longer than the average in Saugus for the same month. February 2025 data for Valencia shows an average of 51 days on the market, again, pointing to a more potential decrease in March. Based on the March figures, the average time a home spent on the market was longer in Valencia compared to Saugus. Both markets appear to be fairly active, but Saugus seems to have a slightly faster pace of sales based on the March data. You'll likely need to be prepared to act relatively quickly if you find a home you like in either city, but perhaps even more so in Saugus. Interestingly, the data also shows that the average sales time in Saugus has increased significantly by 111% compared to March 2024, when it was only 11 days. Valencia has seen an even more substantial increase, with the average sale time rising by a remarkable 288%. This considerable year-over-year increase in the average days on market in both cities might indicate a shift in the market dynamics. Perhaps buyers are taking more time to make their decisions compared to the previous year. Time to talk about negotiating. The list-to-sale ratio tells us on average how the final sales price compares to the original list price. For Saugus, the data indicates that in March 2025, 43% of homes sold at their asking price. Another 43% sold for less than the asking price. This strongly suggests that if you're looking to buy in Saugus, you should be prepared to offer at or even above listed price to have a competitive chance. Now, let's recall that interesting point about Valencia. Information from March 2025 shows that in Valencia, 50% of homes were sold below the asking price. 16% sold at the asking price, and 34% sold for more than the asking price. This presents a notable contrast between the two cities. This difference could be quite significant for you as a buyer. In Saugus, it seems you'll likely encounter more competition and might need to be prepared to pay the asking price or even exceed it to secure a property. However, in Valencia, the fact that a large percentage of homes are selling for under the asking price indicates that buyers might have more leverage and opportunity to negotiate a more favorable deal. If you consider yourself a savvy negotiator, Valencia might be the area where you have a better chance of purchasing a home for less than the initial listing price. That's definitely something important to keep in mind as you weigh your options. All right, we've looked and bored you with a lot of numbers. What's my overall take as your friendly neighborhood realtor? Both Saugus and Valencia are still exhibiting characteristics of a seller's market, with prices generally showing an upward trend compared to last year. However, there are some crucial distinctions that potential buyers should be aware of. Valencia appears to have a slightly higher overall price point in both terms of median sold price and price per square foot. However, it's also presented a considerably larger inventory of homes available for sale in March 2025. The longer average times homes spent on the market in Valencia, coupled with the significant percentage of homes selling below their asking price, suggests that buyers in Valencia might have a greater opportunity to negotiate, especially if they are prepared to be patient and strategic in their offers. Saugus, on the other hand, offered a somewhat more affordable median price, but with fewer homes available for sale and a faster pace of sales. Buyers interested in Saugus might need to be more decisive and potentially more willing to meet or exceed a seller's asking price to secure a property in this competitive environment. If your primary concern is staying within a specific budget, Saugus might initially seem to be more appealing due to its slightly lower average prices. However, if you value having a wider selection of homes to choose from and the potential to negotiate a price below the initial listing, Valencia could be the better option, even with the slightly higher average cost. The greater availability of homes in Valencia might also translate to less intense competition for particular types of properties, giving buyers more room to maneuver. Beyond the market statistics, it's vital to remember that both Saugus and Valencia offer wonderful places to live. Both communities are known for their reputable schools and a welcoming, family-oriented atmosphere. Valencia is particularly noted for its well-designed, master-planned communities and its extensive network of paseos, which can be a significant attraction for those who enjoy outdoor activities and pedestrian-friendly neighborhoods. Saugus offers a more established, perhaps a slightly more relaxed suburban feel with its own local community events and numerous parks. Taking these lifestyle aspects into account alongside the market data is essential for making the right decision for your individual needs and preferences. So, to quickly recap, in March 2025, while both Saugus and Valencia were characterized as sellers markets, Valencia provided a larger selection of homes and a greater likelihood for buyers to negotiate a price below the asking price, despite having a slightly higher median price and price per square foot. Saugus presented a more competitive environment with fewer homes available, but a somewhat lower median price point. Remember, the goal here is to equip you with a clear understanding of the real estate landscape in Saugus and Valencia for March 2025, empowering you to approach your home search with greater confidence. Now, I'm really curious, after seeing the breakdown, which city is feeling like a better fit for you? Are you leaning towards Saugus or Valencia? Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope this comparison has been helpful. If you have any more questions about the Saugus or Valencia real estate market, or if you're ready to dive in deeper into your home search, please don't hesitate to reach out. You know where to find me. Happy house hunting, and I'll see you in the next video.